Hey.
Hi, how's it going? Welcome to another wonderful episode of Paranormal Minds. I am your host, Shannon Ray, and
Christopher Sharp,
the one and only, thinks he's amazing. Tonight we are going to be talking about elements that can enhance paranormal activity.
Or elements that we think can.
Exactly. There's a lot of myths out there about things that can enhance paranormal activity, so we're going to be addressing some of those and have some scientific facts as to why those that do can. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
And then after that, we're gonna talk about, have like a little Paranormal Minds book club. The book is called Confessions of a Feng Shui Ghostbuster, and I figured since we were kind of talking about the elements of the paranormal, it kind of makes sense to talk about some feng shui stuff, since that deals with elements and chi and positivity.
If you say so.
I do say so.
I personally read this book and I'm kind of lost.
He's lost with everything. So basically, we're going to be covering elements, 4 main elements that affect paranormal activity. First, we're going to talk about limestone, and then running water, and weather, and ley lines. A lot of people might not know what ley lines are. They're kind of interesting. I like ley lines.
I don't.
So first we're going to talk about, and because, I'm a teacher, I have graphics. Isn't that neat?
You do?
I do have graphics. That's so cool, huh? Okay. First tonight we're going to talk about limestone. I've heard so many people within the paranormal field talk about how limestone can enhance paranormal activity. Have you ever heard anybody say why?
Several times, but I'm going to let you. Only a couple.
First, limestone, for those of you that don't know, and we have the images up as well. Limestone is a sedimentary rock composed mostly and largely of organic organic matter. Yummy. Like what you had for dinner last night. It's composed of calcium carbonate. It's kind of grainy, and if you look towards the top, we have our limestone caves, which is pretty cool. And then just what regular plain old Jane limestone looks like, right?
Right.
So the question is, how does limestone affect the paranormal? How could that rock that is made up of organic grainy matter generate energy? Because for paranormal occurrences to happen, you need energy, right? Okay, I hate to bust it. Yeah, you can just bust it. You can bust it. I'll let you bust it.
Doesn't really affect paranormal energy in any way.
It doesn't. Limestone, it's truly a myth. Now, if there's some kind of scientific facts out there, I'm all for it, but it's a myth. Limestone truly does not affect paranormal activity. Now, with that being said, there are other stones and minerals that would affect paranormal activity, such as quartz and magnetite. And quartz, you can transmit frequencies through rather easily, and magnetite has its own particular magnetism and stuff of that nature. And anybody within the field knows that EMF is required. Our EMF spirits can draw EMF or use EMF. Wait, I said that totally backwards. I'm doing it again. Spirits can draw from electromagnetic energy or emit electromagnetic energy when they're trying to manifest themselves or do something. So, yeah, limestone really didn't have anything to do with it.
Oh.
I think we just busted that bubble. I busted it. Well, you kind of busted it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, we're going to move on to the next one now. I got pretty graphics for this one, too.
Oh, God.
Alright, then you have weather. And believe it or not, we're not going to bust any bubbles on this one. Weather actually can affect paranormal occurrences and paranormal activity within a location.
Yeah, because everything about weather gives off electricity.
Energy. Gives off energy. But before we get into weather, we need to talk about, we're almost like going back to science class.
Pretty much.
Did you do good in science?
I passed.
That's a no. Energy itself is the law of conservation of energy. That energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can merely be transferred. That's kind of what Physics 101.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Did you take physics? Doubt it.
Energy has to be transferred from one source to another.
Yeah, that's right. The Earth is constantly keeping a balance between the solar radiation energy coming through the atmosphere from the sun and what is bouncing off the Earth and back into space. So.
Did you know that? I knew that.
Oh, you did?
No. Yes,
wow.
I did.
I'm impressed. So, you want to take over the different kinds of weather and what?
I think you're doing good. I mean, I'm going to let you run with this.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to put me on the spot for all this?
I'll put you on the spot.
So that way if I get all these scientific lingos and terminology wrong,
I'll let you know.
You can crucify me about it.
I'll let you know.
Yep, I kind of figured. All right. Temperature and both barometric pressure are measured by quantifying the energy molecules that are in the air. Kinetic energy is basically like when molecules are rubbing together to either heat things up or to cool things down. And this idea is essential for understanding the concept of how weather can affect paranormal activity, because with these molecules and the kinetic energy that they're producing, can affect the kinds, it offers energy basically in the atmosphere for spirits and things of that nature to feed off of. I'm waiting for you to like crack the whip down on me hard and say, you're just messing it up.
She's doing a great job.
You're being nice. Oh my God. He has to have, hang on, fever? A little bit, maybe?
I have been under the weather the last couple of days.
Oh, okay, that's it. All right, so, where was I at? You keep on making me lose my spot. The more rapidly molecules collide with each other and other objects, the higher the air pressure is. We're going to talk about basically humidity first. Humidity, you know, the more moisture that's in the air, the more relative humidity that you have, and the more likely you are to have storms and things of that nature. But there is also a logical kind of make sense thing about humidity. If you have a basement that's high in relative humidity, it can cause what, Chris?
Mold.
Mold. You have lots of that in your house.
What?
I'm kidding. Okay, so it can cause mold, and with mold, especially if it's like a toxic mold, you can get headaches, dizziness, nausea, things that people would associate with paranormal activity, but it's not necessarily paranormal activity, it's just mold.
Just mold. Just mold.
But there are some weather conditions that really can affect paranormal occurrences within a home. One is the wind. You want to take a guess?
Did you know that?
You want to take a guess about it?
Because all the molecules are moving through the wind.
Yeah.
And can produce energy.
That's right. And when, but first you got to know wind is created by a difference in pressure systems, causing air to accelerate from high pressure to areas of low pressure, transferring energy from one place to another. And that energy can, if it's really windy outside, you can have an increased level of paranormal occurrences due to the fact that the wind is jumping up those molecules. You like that, right? I ain't studying you. As most of you know, thunderstorms, which you like my beautiful lightning, don't you? That's pretty cool.
That's pretty, yeah.
Yeah. You know, teacher graphics. Lightning and thunderstorms can definitely affect paranormal occurrences. And that has to deal with the ionization of okay. Charged ions, I just lost it. I'm sorry. The chat wasn't working. I was trying to get the chat working. Okay, here we go. You want to do thunderstorms, please? maybe.
Well, thunderstorms. Everybody knows that lightning can cause the air to ionize, and that can increase with the energy through the lightning. Can increase paranormal activity or paranormal occurrences. But I bet you didn't know this, that only 20% of lightning bolts actually touch the ground.
Yeah, most of them are cloud to cloud. Yeah. You think you're Mr. Scientific Smarty tonight, huh?
Maybe.
So when that ionization is in the air and it's just right, and especially when you have a buildup of ionized air, buildup of ions, and it emits into a thunderbolt, so to speak. Your air is ionized, and you have more energy for spirits to pull off of to be able to manifest themselves and do their thing. Yeah. Okay. As the paranormal field is developing, there are no right or wrong answers as to whether or not any particular weather condition could enhance or suppress paranormal activity. There are reports of many paranormal investigators seem to point to that possibility. Since weather is caused by changes in energy and paranormal activity is obviously linked to energy, it is a theory that should be studied further and, documented scientifically whenever possible. So it's really important to just know that not all weather, but some weather, really windy situations and thunderstorms can affect paranormal activity. And if you have too much humidity in your house and mold, you can think you have ghosts and you don't.
You don't.
We've been in some pretty moldy, nasty basements before. I've walked into some.
Yep.
I've walked into some that
Want to take a bath since you walked out of it?
Yeah, and I felt really nasty and sticky.
I know the feeling.
Like I'm sitting next to you feeling kind of nasty and sticky.
I took a bath before I come over here.
No. Yeah, and it's like Yeti saying in the chat room right now, thunder is the result of lightning. Lightning is the ion discharge. I'm sorry if that kind of got confusing. My chat stopped working and I had to fix that. It was kind of chaotic. Sorry. Love technical issues. They're wonderful. Okay.
We're moving on?
Yes, we're moving on.
To running water.
Like the kind of water I turn on in my tap?
Mm-hmm. It said that running water can cause paranormal activity, an increase of it. But what is the main paranormal activity it causes? No, don't look at the paper.
Oh, you're telling me. Well, what? What are you asking?
What is the main paranormal activity it says that it increases?
The main one?
Yeah.
Visual sightings? Like apparitions?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I didn't even look. I got the answer. Let's have a party. We have Cliff Notes because there's a lot of information. I think me and Chris both failed science.
Speak for yourself.
You speak for yourself. But as you know, running water, you can use running water to conducively conduct electricity, basically. The running and the motion. And it's the same principle that runs off of that. The motion of the water creates a kind of conductivity that paranormal entities and spirits can feed off of and generate more of. Here in Macon, we have the Ocmulgee River that runs literally like through downtown Macon.
And all the underground springs.
And you do have the underground springs too. And that water, because downtown Macon's like super haunted, and that water can contribute highly to the just constant activity that goes on in downtown Macon in the historic homes. But not the limestone under the streets though.
I've heard you tell that story a few times.
What?
The limestone one.
Limestone! Gotta love the limestone. Gotta love the quartz.
Alright, this is your favorite one.
Ley lines! You know what I forgot to do? This is my graphic for running water.
Y'all want the ley lines?
Yes. Okay, ley lines. Ley lines are super awesome. There's a lot of theories about ley lines, but it's really interesting. You could really do a whole show on ley lines. But there's a really interesting idea of like an invisible alignment of sacred ancient places within the world, and that these lines, they're either straight or they're kind of turned, but we'll get into that in just a second. What was that? Oh, yeah. Because energy, these sites were built on what people can consider like energy vortexes, like these sacred ley lines where these sacred places were built. Their locations are kind of like considered energy vortexes, because from these vortexes you get electromagnetic fields, and they're supposedly these pathways, that the ley lines themselves in between the sacred locations have much more paranormal activity. So if you're living like on a ley line, you are basically serving host paranormal activity. You know, but they cross, and it's geometric. All right, I'm keeping on going because I'll get sidetracked. Ley lines have some sacred sites. Did you really just do? And you guys wonder why I get distracted. Do you guys see this? It's so easily to do with you harassing me like that.
I know what you're talking about.
You do know what I'm talking about. Okay. Back on track. I cannot let your ADD affect me. Anyways. There are sacred sites on ley lines such as churches, temples, burial sites. And we're talking ancient sites. There's also battlefields as well. The idea is that there's some kind of unseen energy flowing through these invisible lines that influence the environment and boost paranormal activity. This is, to me, I think it's just really interesting that you can go back and you can look at the world pretty much like in a grid, the way the image is, and look at the ley lines and how certain points, if you notice on that grid, there's certain points to where there's important, what they consider energy vortexes, and all of them really? See, doing the ADD thing again. All of them line up in a geometric way that has significance. I mean, like, people, you look at this and you're like, who planned this? You know, you're talking about people, we're talking about ancient times before people had the kind of equipment that we have now. So how did they do it?
Well, you said that some battlegrounds are on. If I'm not mistaken, I think I read that that supposedly Gettysburg battleground is laying right on one.
Yeah, it is. Yay, Chris. Okay. So let's just do like a breakdown of ley lines and what they are really quick for those of you that are left clueless because of my ADD distraction from Christopher Sharp. Just saying. Thousands of years ago, our prehistoric ancestors left us the system of networks that define paths of energy and forces that cannot always easily be seen. These systems are energy from the earth and are identified by landmarks and patterns. Some ley lines are straight paths, while other ones are kind of circular patterns, like I had mentioned earlier. Yeah.
That's it.
No, it's not. There are many different, ley lines are basically found all over the world. If you look at our map, you see it's broken apart and it links these sacred sites together. The idea and the thought of it is, who made these? You know, and there's significant, to paranormal activity, to me, maybe not to everybody else, because there's a linking network of geometric lines that link together sacred sites and significant sites. And that is kind of interesting. In general, to me. Chris,
maybe
not to Chris.
Maybe we should try to find some of these sites and go visit and see if they are haunted.
Well, some of them are, for sure.
Well, all of them. That way we can put a theory together.
Oh.
Facts.
Oh, you want?
On a theory.
On a theory. Yeah. Well, this is like a known theory, though.
But is every single one haunted?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Who's going to pay for this trip?
Well, whoever's going to send us to the moon, I guess. And we're still needing donations for that.
In some cultures, ley lines were used specifically for the dead to help make their journey into the next life. In ancient times, people believed that in the survival of the human spirit, and it is believed that the ley system proves it, that going along the ley lines would guide a path for the human spirit. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
I really don't know the ley lines.
I know you're
That's
not.
your thing.
It is kind of my thing, and I don't know what is up with you. For many years, many people have tried to solve the ley lines mystery and discover its purpose, why it exists, who created it. And it's kind of difficult to discern, as there's very little record about the ley line system, and few people seem interested in it, like you. We do have someone in the chat room that said they disagree with our limestone theory. That's not nice.
Where'd you get that information from?
Different variouses. I researched it. But if you think about it, if a spirit needs energy, okay, and a spirit needs to be able to pull some type of energy, how would an organic sedimentary rock have anything to do with the production or the conduciveness of paranormal activity? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I'm saying I disagree with your disagreeing. But I respect it humbly. But we are saying that things like quartz and magnetite would affect paranormal occurrences, because those kind of rocks and stones have the ability to foster certain types of
energy, magnetic.
Yeah, energy and transmitter of energy kind of deal. Okay, so why does it matter if some elements Kim, why does it matter if some elements affect the paranormal? Why does it even matter at all?
Because you would like, if you want to go ghost hunt, you would like to have that added element to help you out. True.
But knowing, I think as somebody said earlier in the chat room, being aware of your environment is very important, and being, as an investigator, it is essentially important to be able to gather all the information you possibly can and rule out and eliminate all kinds of possibilities to be able to conclusively have the best findings possible, without a doubt. Agree?
I agree.
And if you have a house that's sitting on an ocean or a river, that idea is just there to help, something you can keep in the back of your mind as a possibility of something that might be fostering or aiding or helping paranormal occurrences happen within a home. Same thing with humidity. If you have a basement, did you just do a face check? No. If you have a basement that's full of humidity, I mean, you're going to get sick and you're going to get mold, and people need to know that. Don't you think? So, and then you have things like weather. If you're a paranormal investigator and you're doing investigation and it starts to storm, and thunder and lightning, and the wind's blowing really hard, you know that those kind of conditions can sometimes aid.
I've never investigated in a thunderstorm.
I have. It was really cool. I investigated. We were doing a home in downtown Macon, and it was this old home built around the turn of the 19th century, and it was absolutely gorgeous. You really weren't there for that one? I think this was before your time. And so it started literally like thundering and lightning, like a huge thunderstorm came up. It was a dead summer, okay? And it was just absolutely insane. After it stormed, the activity picked up. Not during the storm, but after the storm, the activity was insane. So they're just factors to keep in mind when you're doing an investigation. Anything, all factors, pulling in all kinds of information can help you become the best rounded paranormal investigator that you can be. With this being said, does that mean Chris likes my ley lines? No. But it's just something to keep in mind. The more information you have and the more aware you are, the better you're going to be within this field.
Well, keep it in mind. Right back here. This area.
Oh. There's a back to that?
It's a small apartment, but there's room.
I know it's a studio apartment back there, actually. So knowing this, does it help you or hinder you in the paranormal field? It's really up to you and how you use it and the information that you use. Like I said, the more information you have, the better you are. And knowing what's going on around you and how things can affect you around you is really important.
But what are you saying, help or hinder? The fact that it happens and it helps you, or knowing?
Both.
Well, I mean, if a place is haunted, it's going to be haunted. It's just going to help amplify
the activity.
But I don't think it would help or hinder in that sense.
Do you
Maybe
think
knowing what's up under the house, yeah.
Do you think that these elements can make it haunted?
Very rare.
Rare? Not really?
I mean, if it's going to be haunted, it's haunted.
No matter what?
Yeah.
That's what you believe?
That's what I believe. I mean, so what you're saying is if you take a house that's sitting on stilts somewhere on land that's not haunted, it's automatically going to be haunted because you put it on top of water?
Maybe.
I don't know. We're going to...
I personally believe that if you take a house that's on stilts, that's kind of had a couple of things going on, and you move it next to the ocean.
Now, maybe that's one thing, but taking a house that has nothing to an ocean and now it's going to have something.
I don't think so. But if it kind of has some things and you move it next to an ocean, they don't have lots of things.
Then maybe.
Crazy things. And you'll start seeing apparitions. Like we said earlier, when you have running water and conducive water, then you are more likely to see apparitions, which is pretty cool. Can I take my house and put it next to it?
Well, I've been saying we need to run the house on some running water.
Yeah. And turning on your faucet.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Doesn't count either. At all. Period. So now it is time for Paranormal Book Club. Yay! You know you like it. Right? The book that we're going to be talking about is, I'll actually do a shot of the book. It's Confessions of a Feng Shui Ghostbuster. It is written by Ana Maria Perezzo. I probably butchered that name. Perezzo.
Maybe somebody can correct you if you're wrong.
I don't need correction. If I'm wrong, it's right because I say it.
Wow.
Okay. So we're going to talk about this book, and it has some really great concepts and ideas in it about how it makes sense. If we're talking about the home and things that can make your home more haunted, it only makes sense to think of it the way the Chinese do. Right? You know you like it. You know you like it. Alright, so first... Oh, I have more graphics, by the way, too.
Yeah, I can see.
Chris loves my graphics, y'all. No, he doesn't. You look excited. Chris is a little bit under the weather tonight, so that's why he's just kind of like, yeah, what's up? How's it going? Okay. First, we're going to talk about Feng Shui. Feng Shui! You got to know what Feng Shui is to understand what the book's about, right?
Well, go ahead and explain it to us.
I will. Ooh. Feng Shui is a Chinese system. It's believed to use laws of both heaven and earth to help improve life by receiving positive qi. Do you have positive?
Cheese?
Qi. Qi.
Cheese like in my fritter?
No, it's like QI. Qi. It's really QI. Like that's the... Anyways. Really? The term Feng Shui literally translates into wind water in English. This is cultural shorthand taken from just translations. So, you know, Chinese doesn't really translate very well into English. Did you know that? No, you do. Historically, feng shui was widely used on ornate buildings, often spiritually significant structures such as tombs, but also dwellings and other structures in an auspicious manner. Depending on the particular style of feng shui being used.
There's different styles?
Yeah.
What styles are there?
There's just different ones. Did I get a qualification for feng shui expert overnight? Seriously? Really? Do I look like I have Shannon Ray, feng shui expert, written above my head?
I figured if you want to talk about it, at least know something about it.
I do know stuff about it. Anyways.
What styles are there? What kind of
feng shui was suppressed in China during the Cultural Revolution in the 1960s, but has since become increased in popularity because people want harmonious chi in their house and home and life. You need a lot of chi. I don't think there's enough chi in the world to help you. So that is about feng shui. Hey, do you like my warrior? I thought he looked a lot like you. Just saying.
He did before I shaved.
You think you're funny. Alright, so back to the Confessions of a Feng Shui Ghostbuster. Our book for book club. I don't know, do you think we should do a Paranormal Minds book club? I like it. I'm dorky like that, though. You're like Mr. Cool, I don't like to read. Go ahead.
Whatever you want to do.
Alright, about the author, Anna Maria. She is a certified feng shui consultant, not me. Just saying, alright? She has studied with a multitude of feng shui masters and metaphysical gurus. She has devoted herself to helping others achieve optimal, positive, environmental energies.
I mean, did you really need this?
Good chi. I'm trying to find my center and be harmonious within my body at the moment. She received her BA in Communications from what are you doing? Wrong one. That one. Chris is now having technical difficulties. Don't you? Alright. I lost it. But anyways, the book is a non-traditional book. It is intended to explain with a no-nonsense and fearless manner ways that the reader can be involved in seeing feng shui as a tool to clear your environment and make your home a more harmonious place without spirits and activity, and not a pathway for spirits to come in and out of your home. There are things that a lot of people do, so says feng shui, that just attracts spirits into their house.
Like?
Oh, I'm getting there. I do know this. Physical and emotional well-being are the key to living and maintaining an abundant and prosperous life. You like that? See, I think you need more feng shui in your life. I think that would help you.
I got enough with you in it.
Anyways. Believe it or not, so now we're going to talk about, we're going to go through the book and we're going to talk about, key factors that the book says that can affect spirits in your home and supernatural occurrences in your home. The first one is the door. You want to talk about the door, your front door?
Basically, the feng shui says each direction stands for something. Northeast is what they call the Devil's Gate. Southwest is what they call the Devil's Back Door. So if your house's front door is northeast and the back door is southwest,
you're screwed.
Yeah, pretty much in layman terms, you're screwed. Or it's called being unfortunate, and it is very easy, so they say, or their beliefs, that spirits can come in and out of your home. It's better to have your door and your back door not kind of like a shotgun house, so to speak. It's because in their belief, spirits can't turn corners very well, and it will keep them from coming into your home more easily. The way to find out which way your door is facing, you stand outside in front of your door.
No, you stand with your back to the door.
You stand outside in the front of it with your back to the door. with your back to the door with a compass to find out which way your front door's facing, and then you do the same with your back door. What else is?
I think that's about it as far as the directions of your house. It's really important to, I mean, you cannot help if you're buying a house, like what direction the door was built in. This is just something that this book says could invite spirits into your home and basically be a pathway. Spirits can have a straight path into your home, which you don't want at all. The next thing is rock salt, which I really liked in this book when they talked about the rock salt, because of its absorbent natures, that you can put it, like if there's spaces that feel odd to you, or the energy is like uneven and not really adding up right, you can place rock salt in the four corners of the room of that house. Right? Yeah. You like that. It absorbs the bad energy.
Absorbs the bad energy. But then when you
leave it out for a few days.
And then when you go to after you pour it out, it says you must wash your hand to cleanse yourself of all spirits. Yes.
Or you can put a bowl of uncooked rice on top of the toilet.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with salt.
Rock salt is good to have around to act as like a ghost deterrent, like ghost away, you know. Place a tablespoon on both the left and the right side of your front door, and it kind of helps to keep ghosts away. So says the book. To rid the property of unwanted energies or unsettled land spirits, you can mix real gar powder in a glass of wine, newly opened, and purchased just for this, and place it as needed. It works well around the perimeter of a swimming pool. Rocks are too large and cannot be moved, and big trees can also block the chi from a house. Remove the liquid at least 24 hours after pouring it into the ground. Wash your hands before and after this method. Like, it's really important to wash your body, keep your body clean and pure.
I already said that.
You think you're funny. Okay. This is something that I found really interesting in this book about wind chimes. Because, you know, like a lot of people, especially here in the South, have wind chimes outside their doors. Do you remember without looking, Chris, what the wind chimes do?
I don't think I got that far. I was kind of lost.
Wind chimes can actually, so says the book, attract spirits to your house because of the loud noise. Never use them inside your house. And avoid using them in ghost gates, which are, once again, the northeast and the southwest areas. So, yeah, they can, like, if they're making noise, they're attracting, like, you have spirits that are just kind of wandering around, you can be attracting them to your house.
That's rough.
So says this. The next thing we're going to talk about is light within your home, which I think as any paranormal investigator would kind of know and understand that light kind of does play a part.
Yin and yang, huh?
But light in general, like spirits are within darkness a lot of times. And Feng Shui has their own kind of ideas about how light affects spirits. And you have the yin, which is the dark, and the yang, which is the light. And it's important to have a lot of yang spots in your home. For instance, the book says, all this is from the book. This is not Shannon says, it's the book says. The book says all of your living, like your living room, your dining room, your kitchen, stuff like that should be towards the front of your home, and the sleeping quarters should be towards the back of your home. You want to keep the yin, which is the dark, quiet places, in the back of your home, and the living, lively places in the front of your home. The more, if you have a lot of dark, quiet spots in your house, it attracts spirits to your house.
But me and you talked about this earlier. My thing is, say, wouldn't it be a belief that you would think a spirit is more easier to attack you while you're sleeping and unaware in the dark than being awake in the dark? That's my theory.
Well, you're going against Feng Shui here, though.
Well, maybe Feng Shui's wrong.
No, this is an ancient time. This is Shannon hitting Chris in the head with a clipboard. Just saying. Now the camera's going to go bonkers for about 5 minutes. because I moved it too close. Anyways, moving on. You want to have in your bathrooms where it's dark, like they say, have a night light to keep a little bit of yang in your yin area.
I like to sleep in pitch darkness, so
that means you like to speak with the spirits. You like to sleep with the spirits. Lots of spirits. Okay. Like I just said, too dark or too quiet of a space can invite spirit activity into your home. I think next book club, you should pick the book. That'd be good, right?
What's the opposite version of this? That's what I'm going to get. The American version. Ghost hunting for dummies.
No! You are not philosophical enough to understand this. That is exactly what it is. You're not deep enough. Alright. It's another thing with the yin and the yang that your home and your front door should be at the front of your home. It shouldn't be on the side. It shouldn't be at the back. Wherever people come in and out should be in the very front of your house. Another thing with feng shui is you need to have like an even shaped, you need to have an even shaped house, like a rectangular house or a square house. These odd shaped weird houses go against the flow of chi and energy through your home. Living near a church or a cemetery or any kind of sacred ground or a place like hospital, mental asylum where there was bad stuff, that is considered really bad, and that spirits can come into your home very easily.
Yes, right here.
She's right, though.
You got the number to the local Chinese restaurant? I'll order me some.
Chris says he's going to order him some more shui. You do have a lot of singing, just saying. Your staircase should not be directly in front of your door. A staircase and things of that nature are virtually like waterfalls, and water is money, so you're like letting your money go out your front door. So if your staircase is facing your front door, that is why you're broke. You need to change it immediately. Yeah, rewire the structure of your staircase to where it's not going out the front door, because that's why you're broke and you're going into bankruptcy. Just saying. That about concludes just about it. The book at the very end has 10 rules to a serene and ghost-free environment. Are you ready for these?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. Shannon's going to be reading these.
Tell me I can shoot now.
I'm sure we're going to have commentary from Chris. Declutter is the #1 rule for productive, peaceful, and serene environments. Any type of clutter will invite spirits and promote ghost attractions. Keep all pathways clear, clean, and spacious.
Okay.
Your house bells on that one. Maintain your house, office from inside and out. Repair anything that is broken. Don't keep what you cannot use or need. Let it go. Be generous into your spaces. Don't have a lot of clutter.
No, I like that. I like the big screen you got. I'm gonna take it home with me.
You're not taking my big screen. Do not live near or across from a funeral parlor, a cemetery, gravesite, dump site, or a hospital. Even churches tend to attract spirits.
I'm okay.
You're okay. Yeah, you guys need to be going down your list to making sure your house isn't attracting spirits. Per feng shui. Do not buy or live in a house that is built on sacred or consecrated ground. I think that's kind of common sense, though. Most people won't want that anyways. Use rock salt, preferably coarse, pure sea salt, in dark areas of your house, interior and exterior places, particularly from where you suspect noises are coming from if you have some kind of paranormal activity. Place the salt in the northeast and southwest areas. Wind chimes should not be misplaced. Place them outside if you're going to use them, especially not in the northeast or southwest sectors of your house or office.
I'm going to use wind chimes.
You got to get rid of all your grandma wind chimes. This is the one I'm going to love to hear what you got to say. Keep your office or home well-lit area and clean. Dark, dingy, odorous, because you smell, Chris. Damp and unlit areas attract ghosts. Make sure your exteriors are well-lit as well. You don't want to blend into the dark. You want to be your own light. Shine brightly.
Have you seen a white alien?
You are pretty white, but I didn't say
light.
white. I said light. Being white is not being a light.
I'm a human nightlight.
You are not a human nightlight. You don't glow in the dark. Trees, shrubs, walls, and fences too close to the house inhibit the flow of healthy chi energy. Cut them back and allow the sun to enter. Ghosts like to hide in weeping willow trees, so keep them as far away from the house as you can.
Oh, I have none of those.
Somebody else might.
No.
A house that sits on an odd-shaped lot is also not allowing energy to flow evenly. Correct the lot by squaring it off with trees and shrubs.
You got some work to do then, don't you?
I do. All houses built on steep slopes, stilts, hilltops, and that drop away steeply on one side attract negative energy. You like that, right? It's really important, though. It is really important to keep in mind that energy in general is the main idea behind whether a spirit manifests itself, what a spirit needs to manifest itself, and whether you have your house placed right per feng shui or things of that nature. It's about having tools, really. Just tools and knowledge to use in the field.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
I think I did too.
I think you did too.
I think it's because I'm amazing. Like I said, that book is called, there's a lot more to that book. That was just kind of like a quick little synopsis from Shannon Ray.
Save your money.
No, I like the book. I think if you are open-minded and you like to hear about different cultures, ideas of paranormal activity and spirits, then Confessions of a Feng Shui Ghostbuster is really a good book to read if you like to have an open mind. You don't have an open mind. Yours is closed off like...
Shannon's got one you can borrow. Don't go out.
Fort Knox. I'm keeping my book. It was a Christmas present. See, people know me for Christmas. Do they know you for Christmas?
It must have been a re-gift.
It was not a re-gift. So... moving on, since Chris doesn't like my book. I like the book. I hope some other people did too. Okay, so now we are moving into the very fun and energetic and wonderful segment of our show called, you want to say it? Say it.
Paranormal News.
Woo-woo! Paranormal News. And here we go. Paranormal news. Okay, I get to go first because ladies go first, and it's beauty before age too, by the way.
Really? Because I'm the best looking thing since sliced bread.
I'm sorry, I don't think they heard you very well. What'd you say? They want to hear that inflated ego of yours real quick, Chris.
I'm the best thing since sliced bread.
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay.
I was just sitting here long.
My paranormal news for tonight, this week, I should say, comes from a journalist named Sanscadavia. And it's out of New Zealand from thestuff.co.nz for New Zealand. And it was kind of a while ago, but it ties into the ideas of how external environments, or environments that are around us, environments that are around us, can affect paranormal occurrences. So it is from 2010. It's not current, but it's just something to help people think a little bit, right? Yeah. Okay. So the title of this is More Ghosts After an Earthquake. Obviously in New Zealand, around September the 4th to be exact, in 2010, New Zealand had an earthquake. And this is an article that was written after that earthquake from people saying that there was more paranormal activity or ghosts. The sheer strength and power of the September 4th earthquake has more than doubled the number of reported supernatural events in Canterbury. This is out of New Zealand, a paranormal investigator says. The paranormal investigator said his team had received an interesting influx of phone calls and emails after a 7.1 magnitude earthquake with more than double the usual number of inquiries about ghosts. Like it shaked it up a little bit, you know? People are
earthquake does. Shake it up a little bit.
People are calling us saying they had always felt like there was something in their house, but since there's the earthquake, it has become more intense. Most cases related to strange noises, although one man said he had been attacked by a ghost. This investigator said the sheer strength and power of the earthquake may have been responsible for the increase of the paranormal activity. The number of old buildings damaged in the earthquake may also have been a factor, he said. It is well known among investigators that when renovations of an old building are taking place, it tends to wake up dormant spirits and